It's the end of an era in NASCAR. Tony "Smoke" Stewart, a legendary name in the sport, is calling it quits on his racing team, Stewart-Haas Racing. In an interview with his good friend Kevin Harvick on the Happy Hour podcast, Stewart didn't hold back, critiquing the current direction of NASCAR and the reasons behind his decision to step away. With SHR scheduled to shut down in just 3 weeks, making way for the upcoming Haas Factory Team, Stewart's exit marks the closing of a significant chapter in his storied career. As both a driver and a team owner, Stewart has left an indelible mark on the sport, cementing his legacy as one of the greats. He told Harvick, reflecting on his 27-year tenure in NASCAR, "It's honestly, especially in the last 2 to 3 weeks, it's starting to feel exactly like a year ago when we knew you were coming to the end of your career, and thinking of the fun we had together on the road, the times I drove your Xfinity car, just the fun stuff that we did together."
It's honestly, especially in the last 2 to 3 weeks, it's started to feel exactly like it felt like a year ago when we knew that you were coming to the end of your career. And thinking of the fun that we had together on the road, the times that I drove your Xfinity car, just the fun stuff that we did together.
But this decision wasn't part of some grand plan. As Stewart explains, this is a time where things are drastically changing in the sport. You look at what's going with 23XI and Front Row Motorsports right now and their battle with NASCAR and the direction that things are going, it's not a direction that I want to be a part of.
This is a time where things are drastically changing in the sport. I mean, you look at what's going on with 2311 and Front Row Motorsports right now with their battle with NASCAR and the direction that things are going. It's not a direction that I want to be a part of.
The two-time Cup Series champion as a driver and two-time champion as an owner has seen the sport evolve over the years, and he's not entirely comfortable with the current trajectory. This is the right time. This was never a part of a master plan, but as this year has gone on, this has become very clear that this is the right time for me to get out of the sport.
This is the right time. This was never a part of a master plan, but as this year has gone on, this has become very clear that this is the right time for me to get out of the sport.
But don't think for a moment that Stewart is running away from the challenges. In fact, he's embracing a new adventure, one that has him happily competing in the NHRA Top Fuel category. And I'm happy doing the stuff I'm doing now. I've always been somebody that's ran all kinds of different series.
And I'm happy doing the stuff I'm doing now. I mean, I've always been somebody that's ran all kinds of different series. And
with his wife, fellow NHRA driver Leah Pruitt, expecting their first child in November 2024, it's clear that Stewart's priorities are shifting. It's just a different time in the sport. The sport's going to be healthy, it's going to survive, it always has, it always will, but I'm happy at this point in my life to make this change.
Crew uniforms, it's just a different time in the sport. The sport's going to be healthy, it's going to survive, it always has, it always will. But I'm happy at this point in my life to make this change. And like I said, it wasn't that way at the beginning of the year. We had different reasons for why we had to shut down at the end of the season, but as time's gone on and watching the owners and NASCAR fight and just...
I got blamed for people losing jobs. Tony Stewart clears air on shutting down NASCAR team and future of employees. As if the decision to shut down SHR wasn't difficult enough, Stewart faced intense criticism online and in person for the impact it had on the team's employees. But the 53-year-old isn't shying away from the tough conversations. Stewart acknowledged the significant impact it had on the team's long-standing employees, and to mitigate the sting, he orchestrated a plan to assist them. "We did what we did to take care of our people, and we created great severance packages for them to take care of them and their families. I would say over 80% of the employees at SHR have found homes for next year." Back in 2009, Stewart joined forces with Gene Haas, acquiring a half stake in Haas CNC Racing and forming what would become Stewart-Haas Racing. As a two-time Cup champion at the time, he saw an opportunity not only to co-own but also to enhance the team by bringing in experienced racing administrators and attracting dedicated personnel. And what a run it's been. In its 16 seasons, SHR has etched its name among the most dominant teams in NASCAR, racking up 70 Cup Series victories. Stewart's third Cup title came in 2011 as a driver and co-owner, and they added a fourth championship in 2014 with Kevin Harvick behind the wheel. But the good times couldn't last forever. After Harvick's retirement, big-name sponsors like Anheuser-Busch's Busch Light, Hunt Brothers Pizza, Ream, Smithfield, and Pristine Auction jumped ship, leaving the team in a precarious financial position. Throw in a winless 2023 season, and the writing was on the wall. The landscape has changed, and Stewart isn't thrilled about it. It is not what it used to be. It is drastically different than what it used to be, and that's okay for some people, and for some people it's not. But this is the time that things are changing the sport. He expressed deep respect for the NASCAR-owning France family and gratitude for the opportunities to race alongside legends like Dale Earnhardt, Jeff Gordon, Rusty Wallace, and Harvick himself. However, he acknowledged, "This has become very clear that this is the right time for me to get out of the sport. There's things that I see that I definitely don't like." It's easy to sit on your Tony Stewart condemn online critics following their unjust strike on SHR's fast-approaching shutdown. The decision to shut down SHR didn't sit well with the fans and critics, but the three-time Cup Series champion wasn't about to take the bashing lying down. Stewart said, "The bashing I got online and on social media was very unjust through the process. It's easy to sit on on a chair on your couch in your mom's house and sit there and tell us how we're doing it wrong, but nobody can seem to sit there and come in on Monday morning and tell us how to do it right." Gene Haas, however, isn't abandoning NASCAR altogether. He's retained one Cup Series charter for his new one-car team, Haas Factory Team, with Cole Custer behind the wheel. A huge boost for the building. Tony Stewart hails Chase Briscoe's Darlington win as it snapped their disappointing 73-race winless streak. It had been a rough go for SHR in 2023, with the team unable to find its way to victory lane. That is, until the regular season finale at Darlington Raceway, when Chase Briscoe delivered a much-needed win for the organization. Stewart said, "Obviously for the building, the last couple years have been a huge struggle, and just trying to get a car in the winner's circle again was tough. But to see Chase get that done at Darlington and win a crown jewel race and get himself in the playoffs, that was a huge boost for the building." Briscoe, who will be driving for Joe Gibbs Racing next season, replacing Martin Truex Jr., put on a show at the Too Tough to Tame track. He fended off two-time Cup Series champion Kyle Busch, secured his playoff spot, and added another prestigious Southern 500 victory to his resume. As Stewart prepares to close the chapter on SHR, he's grappling with a mix of emotions. The decision to shut down the team wasn't an easy one, but Stewart knows it's the right call, even if it leaves a bittersweet taste. Stewart said on Harvick's podcast, "Knowing that when I left the building there, here's some of those people I've known for 16 years, and I may never ever see them again, unfortunately. I don't know that it's even bittersweet. It's more bitter than sweet, I feel like. It's a tough decision."
I literally went to Talladega, went from Talladega to Charlotte, spent the whole day at the shop, got to see as many people as I could at the shop. And knowing that when I left the building there, that there's some of those people I've known for 16 years and I may never, ever see them again, unfortunately. And I don't know that it's even bittersweet. It's more bitter than sweet, I feel like. It's, it's a tough decision, but things in life.
But Stewart also recognizes that change is inevitable, and sometimes you have to make tough choices. But, things in life change, your priorities change, and variables outside of your control change as well.
Things in life change, your priorities change, and variables outside of your control change as well.
Looking back on the pivotal 2009 All-Star race win, Stewart remembers the crew members in tears, overwhelmed by the team's first victory. "It wasn't about me anymore. It was about sitting there enjoying watching these guys that were so overwhelmed and overjoyed with winning a race that it brought tears to their eyes. And it was like, this is way bigger than anything that has to do with me. This is about all of us and what we can accomplish together." That mindset guided Stewart through the ups and downs of the last 16 years, even as he faced significant sponsorship and manufacturer support challenges. But in the end, he knew it was time to step away. Stewart explained, "The reason we did the announcement early in the season was to try to take care of all of our people. I got so blamed for people losing their jobs. Well, there's companies left and right that shut down. Look at COVID. How many people had to shut down? Nobody was screaming about how employees weren't taken care of and what it did to their families." If you enjoyed the video, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to NASCAR Insider for more NASCAR insights.